Wake that ass up.
Early in the morning.
The Breakfast Club.
Morning, everybody. It's DJ NV, Jess Hilarious, Charlamagne the Guy. We are the Breakfast Club. Let's get in some front page news. Good morning, Morgan.
Good morning, everybody. How y'all feeling today?
Feeling amazing.
Blessed, black, and highly favored. What's up, Morgan?
All right, let's get into it. So 2 NASA astronauts are back on Earth after a 9-month stay on the International Space Station. NASA spokesperson Steve Stitch says there's no specific timeline when Sonny Williams and Butch Wilmore will be reunited with their families, but it should essentially be soon. You know, it takes some time for astronauts to readjust once they've gotten back on Earth. These astronauts were actually supposed to only be in space for just a matter of days, I believe 8 or 9 days, and they've been up in space at that space station for more like 8 or 9 months. So let's hear more from NASA spokesperson Steve Stitch on these astronauts.
I know they're going to fly back here tonight. They'll probably spend some time rehabilitating a little bit, and the doc's watching them, and then they'll rejoin their families in the next, day or so.
They were supposed to go for 2 weeks, right?
Right.
How did they have enough food for 9 months? Like, you carry enough food for a month, maybe 8 weeks, but they had enough food for 9 months?
You know those, have you ever seen like space food? You see how it's packed?
It's like paste.
It's like, but it's very compressed also. So I would imagine that it would be beneficial for NASA just to overstock space stations anyways, right?
I'll tell you something, Morgan. Space seems very boring. Okay, either they have to sign NDAs or they lying about going to space because they never come back with no amazing stories. I mean, y'all was in space all that time, and I watched CNN last night, and I didn't hear any great stories. Okay, social media was more entertaining yesterday than coming back from space.
Okay, so Williams and Wilmore had to stay way longer, as I mentioned, than planned aboard the ISS after issues with their Boeing Starliner spacecraft. Of course, they returned home on a SpaceX capsule on Tuesday, splashing down into the ocean off the coast of Florida. SpaceX, that's Elon Musk. I think something that was really kind of cool was their first meal back. Did you see that on CNN?
No. The Chick-fil-A?
No. They ate PBJ, salad, and a burger. So I'm just like, when you coming back from space and you've been in space for 9 months, like a burger.
They got peanut butter and jelly salad?
No.
When their first meal when they got back.
She said PBJ salad.
I said they had. Someone had a salad. Someone had a PBJ.
Oh, you thought it was a peanut butter jelly salad.
Goodness.
Like,
oh, my gosh, guys. Moving on. Arizona Senator Mark Kelly, he is getting rid of his Tesla car after a public spat with Elon Musk. In a video posted on X, the Arizona Democrat said he drove the car to work for the last time on Friday. He pointed to the actions of President Trump and Elon Musk for his decision to get rid of his Tesla. Let's take a listen to Senator Kelly's comments.
Every time I get in this car in the last 60 days or so, it reminds me of just how much damage Elon Musk and Donald Trump is doing to our country. It's one bad thing after the next. He's firing veterans. I'm a veteran, so I have a really hard time driving around in this thing. So I think it's time for an upgrade today. So this is going to be my last trip in this car.
What do you guys think?
I respect it. All of y'all complaining about Elon Musk. If you drive a Tesla, if you on X, then you really don't care about Elon Musk that much or what Elon Musk is doing.
Well,
so
they were saying just don't buy Teslas new. If you buy it used, he gets none of the money. But if you can buy it used, but it's kind of hard not to because not for nothing, Tesla got some of the best stuff in their car. Like the car self-drives, the car self-parks, the car pretty much does everything. If it's raining outside, you push a button, the car comes to the front of the store for you.
I never wanted one. But plenty of people do, though.
That's essentially what Mark Kelly said as well. He was like, there are things I like about the car. There are a lot of things that I don't like about the car. But Musk recently called Kelly a traitor after the senator posted pictures of his trip to Ukraine. Kelly responded by telling Musk he doesn't understand that defending freedom is a basic tenet of what makes America great and keeps us safe. So Tesla has faced protests and calls for boycotts due to Musk's work with the Department of Government Efficiency, aka DOGE. So with that being said, do you think these boycotts are working? What are your thoughts on that? One here we have Tesla. We saw what happened with the blackout with Target. Are the boycotts working? Yes or no?
I have no idea. Because I don't. What's the call to action? I mean, that's what I do know what the call to action is for Target because I've seen some of the action items. But when some of those action items start getting answered, then I would say they're working.
Okay. All right. Well, that's your front page news for 6 a.m. 7 a.m. We're talking deportations, tariffs, and aviation news. So stick around for more front page news. I'm Morgan Wood.
Wake that ass up.
Early in the morning.
The Breakfast Club.
Morning, everybody. It's DJ NV, Jess Hilarious, Charlamagne the Guy. We are the Breakfast Club. Let's get back in some front page news. What up, Morgan?
Yeah, let's do it. So a new study from UCLA says President Trump's economic policies could lead to a recession. UCLA economists believe the policies could slow down the manufacturing sector and reduce the workforce. The analysis says there's no signs of a recession right now, but multiple events could happen at the same time in the next year or two that could lead to an economic downturn. Elsewhere in California, Governor Gavin Newsom is going after President Trump over his use of a centuries-old law to justify deportation of hundreds of illegal immigrants. Now, speaking on his podcast, Governor Newsom said a federal judge temporarily blocked the deportations, but they proceeded anyway. Let's hear more from California Governor Gavin Newsom.
This, to me, of all the things that has happened during the Trump administration, the notion that you can completely disregard the federal court and literally challenge the court just blatantly in contempt of court. I mean, that's the cornerstone of this constitutional democracy.
He's been doing that for so long. What's the surprise now?
Well, I think, again, it goes back to what we were saying yesterday about proof and making sure that the deportations are exactly, they're right, that we are, in fact, the U.S. is, in fact, deporting criminals, but who's the checks and balances on that? So the Trump administration says the deportees were identified as members of the Venezuelan gang, and the 1798 Alien Enemies Act gives the federal government sweeping powers to deport or imprison non-citizens during wartime. Now, the thing about this is President Trump has repeatedly said he believes the United States is under attack at its borders. So would he consider that, would this be that type of situation? So this comes as the Department of Justice maintains that no deportation flight left the U.S. after the order of a federal judge was placed to stop the planes from leaving. And a court filing made on Tuesday to meet the deadline set by Judge James Boasberg. The DOJ still refused to say exactly when the flights carrying the alleged gang members left for Venezuela and El Salvador. The lawyers said providing those details would be inappropriate because the Trump administration didn't go against the order, but they did say they would be willing to provide more information in a private setting. They're saying that basically we can't say this out loud publicly because this is a matter of national security. So, that's what's going on with the deportation flights, but we're still trying to figure out what happened with that last flight in Texas and the timeline of the judge's order as to, whether or not the flight in Texas was still grounded or, the judge had his order issued, and that's going to probably be a big deal. Meanwhile, New York Governor Kathy Hochul says the tariff war between Canada and the U.S. is continuing to hit New York State hard. Hochul adds the average New York family will feel it over the course of a year and adds further that fewer Canadians are crossing the border since these tariffs began. Let's take a listen to New York Governor Kathy Hochul's comments on Canadian tariffs.
People are going to understand very clearly the impact that this is having on their everyday lives. I mean, the average family possibly paying upwards of $2,000 to $3,000 more for everything. And the war is just getting started. I mean, I was in Manhattan asking what occupancy is like in the hotels, and they said many Canadians are canceling reservations. Places like theaters in Buffalo are feeling the effect.
Yeah, what do you guys think? I mean, you're up there. No?
I'll be honest. It won't necessarily affect us because I live in Jersey, but it will affect my parents who still live in New York, and it will affect New Yorkers if that tariff hits Canada and they raise those electric prices. Yeah, absolutely, positively.
Why New York gets their electricity from Canada?
Yes.
Oh,
yes,
wow.
there are parts of, Hochul, and not only New York, there are places in Michigan as well, and Wisconsin, I believe, as well. Hochul also says the tariffs are making it harder to build more housing at a time where there is a severe housing shortage in the state. This because of the cost of lumber and steel are up as a result of those tariffs. And she called the situation enormously frustrating.
I just wonder one last thing. I just wonder with all that stuff going on, will the government help? Because a lot of people are going to get their lights cut off. Like the electricity is going to get cut off because if they raise those prices and people could barely afford it now and they can't afford it, are they just going to have people with no electricity, with no heat, with no AC in the summer? Like, where they can't cook?
I don't know.
The federal government's going to have to help.
Yeah, the federal government should, that's but being that they're the ones implementing some of the tariffs, and we will see what happens. One thing I will notice, I'm noticing here in Maryland, Governor Westmore is possibly talking about like a moratorium for, I'm sorry, help me with the word, the foreclosure moratorium. So that way people won't lose their houses. So I imagine that a lot of this stuff that happens between the tariffs and the layoffs and all of these things are going to probably go back to the state. So yeah, we will see what happens there. But of course, I'm going to keep you posted. Elsewhere, the Frontier Airlines is flying checked bags for free after Southwest announced an end to more than a 50-year-old bag policy. Now, this is just a promotion, okay? But Frontier has announced the new promotion on select flights in an effort to bring in or rebound customers moving away from Southwest. Passengers will need to book a nonstop flight now through August 18th to earn a free checked bag with economy bundle on top of a free carry-on and seat selection. The flight will need to depart between May 28th and August 18th. That's kind of funny because, travel, this whole aviation thing is just a little, yeah. But you guys have any thoughts on that? This whole bag check? And I keep asking y'all, do you guys think this is going to change the way people travel?
I'm still not flying Frontier.
Right.
I don't even know enough about it. I don't know enough about it. And I don't mind paying for my bags, to be honest with you.
Right. Okay. All right. So, and moving on, before I go, congratulations are in order to the Breakfast Club's own DJ Envy and his lovely wife, Gia, and the entire Casey crew on being named the Honored Family for the 43rd Annual Conference on the Black Family at Hampton University. I love me some HBCU news, okay? So this year's theme is From Chaos to Community, elevating Black families, actualizing the vision of the beloved community. And a special ceremony. Oh, please. Why?
You said Black family.
Shut up. Continue on.
Their father is not Black.
I am Black. Continue on. I'm listening. Go ahead. Thank you, Morgan.
Shout out to everybody in the 757. I believe that's 103 Jams. Yep. You guys pull up on the family. Pull up on the Honored Family. A special ceremony will be held for the Casey family during the conference's opening session today at 6 p.m. in Ogden Hall on the campus of Hampton University. It is free and open to the public. And I spoke with Gia and Envy yesterday, and you can catch that coverage on the Black Information Network. So that's pretty much it.
I know it's 8 freshly matching outfits being shipped to goddamn Virginia right now.
Listen,
right now.
Look,
what color did y'all do? What color did you do? I bet you did Hampton University colors.
It's gonna be blue, a little gray, a little pirate action.
You just got to see it today. But yes, thank you. Yeah, we are being honored tonight at 6 p.m. Salute to Thea Mitchum. She's actually giving out the award for me, so I'm super duper excited. A bunch of people that we went to college with are going to be there. Family's going to be there, so it's pretty dope, man. It's a conference that they do every year. It's the 43rd annual. We've been participating in this conference for the last couple of years, so we're excited about it, man, and honored to be a part of it. So I can't wait to see everybody in the 757 tonight.
Yeah, congratulations again. So that's your front page of news. I'm Morgan Wood. Follow me on socials at Morgan Media. And for more news coverage, follow at Black Information Network. Download the free iHeartRadio app and visit us at vinnews.com. Thank you guys. Have a blessed day. Okay.
Thank you, Morgan.
Thank you, Morgan.
Wake that ass up.
Early in the morning.
The Breakfast Club.